friends, Devo here again. Today we're going to do a little Pilates on the mat, on the floor. That's all you need, a mat or a surface where you're not going to slide around too much. I also have a blanket just in case you need something under your knees when we're kneeling down. I thought we'd just start by circling our hips today. I'd like to warm up the body first. You might have just rolled out of bed and your body's a little bit tight or stiff, or you're just trying to wake up. So start by just softening your knees and kind of rolling your hips around just a little bit and see where you've got any tightness or tension. And then I'm just going to bend the knees and let my arms kind of swing and swing and swing, because I want to just get a little bit warmer. Inhale through the nose, exhale out of the mouth. Now, start to throw your arms down, throw them down like you're trying to push that blood down to the edge of your fingertips. We want to move that blood around, that oxygen through your lungs. How about a big X? So we're making essentially a big X from side to side. I'm going to lift a toe, or lift a heel rather, so that I'm not torquing anything, and just kind of moving the body. And obviously, listen to your own body. Make sure you're not hurting yourself. You just want to do what feels right for you. Little twists side to side. So in Pilates, we're mostly concerned with the core muscles. You hear people talk about their TAs all the time. Your transverse abdominal muscles. And those are those deep muscles inside that kind of hold your organs in. And they wrap around you just like a little girdle. So circle your arms out. Bend your knees. We got to wake up all the joints and all the muscles. Circle them around. Bring your hands to your hips. And then lift your right heel and your left heel. And your right heel and your left heel. And your right heel and your left heel. There you go. How about if we circle in? In. Plant your whole foot so you feel your toes. Spread out. Spread out. There we go. And then bring your hands to your thighs and sink a little deeper and drop a shoulder in, maybe straightening that arm, stretching open the right side, and then stretching open the left side. As you come back to your center, pull your heels in. You see my feet? Spread your toes right here. Roll the shoulders back and down. Create a nice long spine. So feel as though you're drawing up from the pelvic floor muscles. So you're pulling up and inside. So my breath is going to inhale, and I might feel the sides and the back of my ribs expand. But what I don't want to do is go and pull my ribs way out. I want to keep them sort of drawn in. And again, it's kind of like putting a little corset around. You want to kind of cinch it up. So inhale, make the spine long, pull up from the pelvic floor. Exhale, pull in a little bit deeper and pull up even more, and relax the shoulders. So you find a nice rhythmic breath. And in most Pilates classes that you do, you're going to be using that rhythmic breath to help move you through motion, move you through poses. How about if we take the arms and reach them up overhead and elongate the spine? Take a little side stretch, but try to keep your hips lined up with your ankles. And then come all the way back and try the other side. Again, a little side stretch. And as we lower down, squeeze the shoulder blades together. I'm going to extend my arms out. Actually, roll your palms down. And little circles right here. And say hello to your shoulders. Circle, circle. And I'm reaching long. I'm not going like this. I'm strengthening. I'm tightening the muscles. I'm squeezing them around the bones. And then circle back. Circle back. Circle back. And then if you bring your hands back to your hips again, go back to that breathing. How about if you do a little plie right here? Just like you're in primary ballet. Little plie and come back up. So I'm going to inhale and then exhale. exhale like I'm zipping it right up. Inhale, exhale, zip it right up. So you're essentially pulling up. Pulling up. Ladies, you all know about Kegel exercises. Just imagine, it's kind of a gentle Kegel. Now from here, can we lift the heels up and down? And work the muscles in the calves a little bit? Oh yes. So a little foot, leg exercises, just to kind of warm things up, because we'll be sitting down most of the time. So we're gonna put that together. We're gonna do a little plie, rise up and lift the heels. Little plie, rise up, lift the heels. Little plie, rise up, lift the heels. Now, we're gonna do it one more time, and I'm gonna try it a little differently. So do a little plie. Notice how I came down. My head is gonna stay here, and I'm gonna lift the heels, and lift the heels, and lift the heels, and lift the heels. Now rise up with your heels lifted and lower. Plie, lift the heels, rise up and lower. Plie, lift the heels, rise up and lower. We getting warmer? Plie, lift the heels, rise up and lower. One more time in this direction. What does that mean? It means go back, lift the heels. Plie with the heels up, lower the heels, straighten. Rise up, plie, lower, and straighten. Rise up, plie, lower. One more. Looking good. You guys are awesome. Now come up and just turn your feet parallel. Sweep the fingertips overhead. As you sit back as if you were sitting in a chair, just like yoga, we're gonna sit back, your chest is lifted, your hips are back, so this wouldn't be as good a chair with your knees forward. Keep your knees behind your toes, pull the navel in towards the spine, relax the shoulders, bring your hands to your thighs, and we're gonna arc the spine and then exhale round, a little standing cat-cow. Inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades. Exhale, scoop out the belly. Inhale, fill the lungs. Keep the knees back behind your toes. Exhale. One more time. Just articulating the spine. We want to make sure everything's nice and warm. And most importantly, we want to make sure that we're sort of balanced here. Whenever you're standing or lying on the mat, you want a natural curve in your spine. So we don't want to be here, and we don't want to be here. You just exaggerated that movement with the cat-cow moves. So find that middle ground to find your neutral spine. And we want to keep things balanced in the pelvis. So sweep the fingertips overhead. Hinge at your hips, slowly come forward, bending your knees. Bring your fingertips all the way to the ground so you can step or hop your feet wide apart. Ooh, that feels good. Walk your hands forward, stretch your hips back. Deep breath in, exhale, soften your knees. Maybe plant your hands underneath your shoulders. Bend one knee, then the other. Just kind of move side to side, opening up those hips again. And then with the hips back, walk your fingertips over toward your left foot. Now, you can touch your foot, you can bring your hand in front or to the side, and bring your belly button onto your thigh. Maybe just look over your back shoulder for a moment. And I'm feeling stretching through the thighs, the inner thighs. Try the other side. Just stretching. From here, we're just gonna turn to one side. Now you can rotate your mat. You can just leave it where it is. I'm gonna turn mine a little bit sideways so you can see. And you're just gonna turn to a raised runner's lunge position. So fingertips on either side, framing your front foot. My back leg is straight and strong. It's not loosey-goosey, it's strong, it's toned. I'm gonna drop the back knee, flatten the foot, and gently walk my hands up my thighs. I might feel like I'm gonna fall over. And so I'm gonna squeeze the inner thighs towards each other and pull up from the pelvic floor muscles again. If you draw your hips back over your back knee, take that pelvic tilt. Pull the belly button in so you feel the stretch in this hip flexor right here. And then you can come forward. So this front knee is over your ankle. Hands can be on the thighs, hands can be on the hips, hands can reach overhead. Whatever works for you. It's important to stretch these hip flexors every day. They're really tight, most of us. As you push your hips back, stretch that front leg out. Maybe the toes pop up to the sky. Feel the stretch in the calf. If you elongate your spine and go even deeper, you can probably get a nice stretch in your hamstring. As I come forward back to that low lunge, I'm going to take this front foot, whichever foot you're on, doesn't matter, right or left, and I'm going to bring it back behind me. In a spinal balance, my hands are going to be underneath my shoulders, my knee is underneath my hip, and I'm elongating my spine. So if my hands are too close, I'm going to be all crunched up. So I want to extend, and this leg, it doesn't bend, it doesn't lift way up, it doesn't open the hip. It's straight back, and I'm going to push all that energy out of my heel. We have a tendency for the toe to turn out, so maybe try to focus on your toe turning inward. When you're ready, the opposite arm, this is my left leg, so I'm going to take my right arm forward. It doesn't matter, your left arm and right leg if you want. And reach energetically. Can you do a little pulsing here? You can turn your palm down, you can even point your toe. And hold your core, hold your abdominals and your spine nice and tight without letting them move around a lot. Now go ahead and bring that down and take that foot off to the opposite side of the mat. I'm going to push down with the ball of my foot and then stretch into my hip as I look over my shoulder. Come all the way back to your hands and knees. You can wiggle around a little bit. You can do cat-cow again. You can step your opposite foot up. So here, I'm on the other side now. I've already done my left foot forward. Now I'm going to have my right foot forward. If you did your right foot first, bring your left foot. I'm going to draw back, take that pelvic tilt. So I feel the stretch. It's like your own little personal isometric. So as you're tucking, you're going to feel that stretch and squeezing. So come forward, and you can use something under your knee if you want. You can always have a blanket down or a towel to protect your knees, especially if you have knees that have issues. Come forward enough so this knee is over your ankle in the front. Hands can be on your thighs, they can be lifted up, they can be back, and you can open your chest. What feels good for you? Where do you need to stretch a little bit more? As I press back and try to straighten out that front leg, it may not straighten. Your hamstrings might be really tight. That's okay. Pop the toe up, spread the toes. Elongate that spine as much as we can. And then here again, as I come forward to that low lunge, resting my rib cage on the thighs, sweeping that leg back. I'm on the opposite side, so I'm pushing back with my heel, my toes are facing the earth, or maybe in. Opposite arm reaches forward, thumb is up. Draw the navel up into the spine. Reach long, energetically forward and back, like you're being stretched in opposite directions. And then find a little pulse right here. Squeeze, squeeze. I feel my hamstrings engage, my shoulders moving, but all the muscles around the midsection are not. 4, 3, 2, 1, and here goes that little stretch off the side. So I'm just going to take my right toes off the left side. So if you're using your left foot, take them off the right side. And push into your hip. And then come back to your center. Little push-ups. So if we come forward so that we're in a knee plank, and this is a full plank, like an upward push-up position. So it's just dropping your knees. Your chest is forward. You can lower yourself halfway down and push up. Notice that the creases of your elbows are facing the front. If they're facing in, which way are my elbows going to go? Out. I don't want them to go out. I want them to go back by my ribs. So keep everything nice and long from the crown of your head to your toes, so you don't push your bum back. Keep your belly drawn in nice and tight, and lower halfway down. Watch your shoulders that you're not and shrugging. I don't want you to shrug your shoulders. Keep them stable on your back. Drawing down. There we go, all the way down, all the way to the mat. Now reach long with your legs. Take the top of your feet down to the mat and draw your chest up like you were doing a little cobra in yoga. We're going to bring the fingertips behind your ears and lift up a little bit higher. Squeeze your inner thighs towards each other and turn your toes out again, just like you did in your Pilates stance, and lift. And then as you exhale, lower your forehead. Inhale, lift, squeeze the shoulder blades together, exhale, lower. And each time you exhale and lower, pull the belly button up. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Inhale, this time we're going to change it. As we exhale, we're going to drop the right elbow to the right corner and look at the left corner of your mat. Inhale back to your center, exhale, lower. Inhale, lift up, exhale, twist to the other side. Back to your center, exhale, lower. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, twist. Inhale, center, exhale, lower. One more each side. Inhale, lift, exhale, twist. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Inhale, lift, exhale, twist. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Come up to a little Sphinx pose here, elbows underneath your shoulders. And just breathe. Fill the lungs, exhale out completely. Can you tuck your toes? Keep the elbows underneath the shoulders. We're going to do a little bit of hovering here. So come on up. Try not to lift your butt up or let your hips sag. Try to find a nice straight line, pushing your heels back. Elongate your spine. The crown of the head is reaching forward, your heels are pushing back. This works the transverse abdominal muscles a lot. You don't need any equipment. You don't need to be at a fancy Pilates studio. You can be right here at home on your mat. This is hard work. Hold it for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop to your knees, come back up to that tabletop position, push back into a cat pose, maybe even take a quick little child's pose if you want, and maybe you don't want to go back all the way and you just want to stretch your arms forward. Totally up to you. We're going to come up and flip around. So I'm just going to bring my feet to the front and bring my feet to the mat. And I'm going to sit up nice and tall. And you can hold underneath your thighs. You can hold onto your knees or your shins. Shoulders are lined up right over my hips. And each time I inhale, I'm lengthening, I'm putting space in my vertebrae. Each time I exhale, I'm going to tuck my chin, round my spine, and pull my belly button in. And then inhale back up. So I'm on my sitting bones. If I were to come back a ways, now I'm on my tailbone. I have one tailbone, I have 2 sitting bones. It makes a little triangle. If you go back further, you're on that flat spot between those 2 hip bones. That's your sacrum. If you go down to your waist, you're in your low back. Sacrum, sitting bone, tailbone, sitting bones. Come all the way back up. Take a big breath in, exhale, tuck your chin, pull the belly in, and slide back. Maybe you're still holding on, that's okay. You're on your tailbone. Inhale, come back up onto your sitting bones. Keep your legs parallel, feet on the mat. Exhale, roll back this time to your sacrum. Keep your chin tucked, roll back up, and then restack your spine. Can you go all the way down to your low back? Try. Exhale, tuck your chin, roll down, tailbone, sacrum, woo, low back. Roll it all the way back up and restack your spine. Let's try it without the arms, without holding. Exhale, big breath out, down to your waist or your sacrum. Roll back up onto your sitting bones. That was fun, huh? Try it again. Exhale, and you're pulling in, you're pulling your belly button in, and then rolling back up again, keeping your feet glued to the mat. This time we're going to go all the way down. Make sure your head's on the mat, not whatever floor you're on. Of course, you may like dog or cat hair. Roll all the way down, all the way down, all the way down, all the way down to the mat. So if you pull your feet in a little closer, as if you're going to do a bridge pose, we will. I want you to come back into that neutral spine position. So you have a little puff of air here. Not a big arcing, but a little puff of air. And if you press down and imprint your spine, I can feel my spine pushing into the mat from my sacrum all the way up to the middle of my shoulder blades. Keep your neck nice and long here. Now feel your hips. Put your hands on your hip bones. You want neutral spine. Your hips should be kind of squared with the mat, kind of flat with the mat, and not forward, but flat, so that they're looking straight up. Little headlights are going straight up. When I imprint and push down, they're going to go whoosh back over my head more. So I'm going to move from neutral to imprint. From neutral to imprint. I'm going to inhale and I'm going to exhale. I'm going to inhale and I'm going to exhale. Well, that feels good right there. So now hold that neutral spine position. Bring your hands by your side. As you exhale, press down like you're going to imprint your spine, but lift your hips up, 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 and begin to roll up. Pelvic tilt, or in yoga, bridge. And you don't have to push way up, just elongate. And then slowly think about your spine like a little string of pearls. Unroll, bone by bone. So I'm trying to come down from my back to my low back, to my sacrum, to my tailbone, back into that neutral spine position here. There, so you can see what's going on. Now do that again. Push down, tilt your sitting bones, lift them up, peel your spine up, 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 and make that straight line from your shoulders through your hips to your knees. And don't do what I'm doing. Don't turn and look around. Keep your neck straight. That's how you get injured. Your neck and your shoulders are soft. And then think about just unrolling your spine one vertebrae at a time. Try to articulate that spine all the way back down. It's kind of fun. Now if you bring your hands back to your hips again, right here, I can feel my hip bones. I'm going to float my right leg up into a tabletop position. I still have a neutral spine. I didn't collapse into imprint. And bring it back down. Try the left side. Don't move anything in your torso. Keep your hips, your spine, your ribs, everything from moving. Now, bring it back up to a tabletop. You still have that little puff of air. And then bring both of them up. Just hold it right here. Now the knees are not pulled in and they're not out there. They're right over your hips. Now just holding this, you're working the front and the back of the pelvis. Can you feel that? This is work, just holding this here in a neutral spine. If this starts to hurt your low back ever, push down and imprint. And you're just gonna work your abdominals rather than the whole pelvic girdle. So from here, keep this leg at 90 degrees. So we're not going to pull the heels in or extend the leg. We're just going to tap the toe down and bring it right back up. So tap your toe and bring it back up. Ooh, I'm feeling that. Tap your toe one at a time and then bring it back up. Are we breathing? Now, what feels the best for you? Generally, we exhale on the exertion, so the hardest part. Shh, because I have to pull my belly button in and hold this position. It hurts the most to drop the toe down. So maybe that's your inhale at the top. Exhale down and inhale up. Feel your way. There's no right or wrong. It has to work for you. Now from here, go ahead and give your knees a hug in. If you're not used to working in a neutral spine, your low back might get a little achy. Come back to that tabletop position. This time I'm going to stabilize one knee. Doesn't matter which one. And I'm going to start to open the other one out to the side and let it hover over the ground. I didn't pull my heel in and I didn't extend my leg. it's still 90 degrees at that angle. And this one is stable. And I'm going to pull it back up, and then I'm going to go to the other side and drop it down and lift it back up. So here I'm going to keep my hands on my hips. Every time I drop one knee down, I feel the engagement of the core. I can feel the transverse abdominal muscles tightening. Yeah, I can feel it. Now, suppose we just tap both toes down. Woo, that's a lot of work. Tap both toes down and bring it up. Try not to move your spine. Don't push down with your spine and then arc, and push down with your spine and arc. All you're going to do is have a sore back tomorrow. So hold it steady, and then hug your knees back in again and take a little rock side to side. In fact, you can drop both knees over to one side like a little spinal twist, keeping both shoulder blades in the ground, and then drop it over to the other side. And you can let them hover, and you can feel the obliques are the muscles on the side. You've got internal and external obliques, and they're on the sides of your waist. Ah, right there. So if we lift up a little ways, lift your head and shoulders up so that your shoulder blades are off the floor without straining, going, try to elongate. Make your neck long so it's soft. Faces are soft so that you're not straining your neck. We can hug one knee in and then the other and straighten the opposite leg. And you can hold your shin, which makes it a little easier. Or you can just maybe barely touch the outside of your leg, right there. If your neck starts to hurt or bother you, just bring your head down. I think this makes it a little more difficult to maintain your neutral spine. So lifting it up, side to side, do one more. Now, let that left leg hover, take your right leg up to the sky, pull yourself up a little bit higher, so you're pressing down with your waist into the ground. Now if you lower your left leg, lower your head and shoulders, can you keep your legs straight? It's difficult. I know if your hamstrings are tight, your knee might be bent a little bit. So maybe you want to lower your leg just enough so that we can make these little single leg circles. So I'm going to rotate my heel to the midline so I'm leading with the inner thigh. I'm going to take it right across so it lines up with my outer hip. And I'm just going to circle it around. And I'm not going to rock and roll. I'm going to hold myself perfectly still. So the only thing that's moving is my hip socket. And that's hard to do, I know. And I'm going to inhale at the top with the toe out in front of my face. Exhale out of my mouth as it circles around. Try the opposite direction. And trying to press that sacrum down into the mat to hold it steady. That's hard to do, so keep pressing the belly button in. How about if we take both toes straight up to the sky? Lift your hips up, bring your hands underneath so you're in a perfect pelvic tilt to lower your legs so that they're hovering. And then maybe lift them back up again. This should make it a little easier than to do without. You certainly can do it without. This probably protects your low back a little bit better. Now give yourself a hug again. And as you lift up, we're going to extend and extend. This time, we're going to add a little bit of a twist. So as you're extending one leg out and then the other, take your opposite shoulder across, not just your elbow, but your shoulder. I'm going to bring my other elbow down to the earth. So I'm twisting at my rib cage, the thoracic part of my spine. Twisting side to side, keeping my sacrum in the mat. And then this time, as I come back to the center, I'll do the same thing. Stretch the left leg, maybe hold on to the calf. Let your right leg hover for a moment. Take a deep breath in, exhale, release. And here come those single leg circles here. So remember, rotate the heel to the midline. Hands can be behind your head or by your hips. Take that toe across and then circle it around. So we're going to make these single leg circles again. It's probably a little bit more challenging with the hands behind the head because it's harder to keep your body still from wobbling. If we reverse it, go out, inhale at the top, exhale as you circle. Couple more. Y'all look good. Take both toes up again. And then hug it in. Double leg stretch. So pull the forehead into the knees. As you inhale, arms and legs hover like a big V. And then exhale, hug it back in. Inhale, arms and legs hover. Exhale, the arms sweep around, hug it in. Inhale and exhale, right there. Now rolling like a ball. You can either hold your shins or hold onto your thighs. And you can roll on your spine. We don't roll onto the neck or the head, just to the shoulder blades. Come all the way up, see if you can balance. Whee! Whee! Are we having fun yet? Okay, bring your toes back to the mat. I'm having fun, but my tights keep falling down today. So from here, you're sitting back up just like we were a few moments ago. And we're gonna take a big breath in. Exhale, come back, past the tailbone, right back there. Now let go of your arms, and we're gonna float those legs up again to that tabletop position and down. Ooh, you might feel this. So pull the belly in. Take a deep breath in, exhale, tabletop. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, and come back up. Tuck your chin, restack your spine. How are we doing? Good. This is so good. Strengthening the core, this powerhouse around your middle section, that helps with everything you do. Regular, everyday activities. You know, just putting your groceries in the back seat of the car, or the baby in the car seat, or household work, you know? So we're gonna come back again into this little V-seat position, and this time we're gonna lift an arm up. So the arm is not here, it's back here by your ear. This is tough work. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Make sure you're leaning back and you're not all the way up. Lean back, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. One more, each side. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Come all the way back up. Roll yourself up. Let's do one more and then we'll do some stretching before we finish. So exhale, scoop out the belly again. Come all the way back. So it looks like you're actually in this little V seat, but you can keep your toes down. We're going to take one arm and sweep it out to the side. Come back to your center and sweep the other arm out, back to your center. You can take a little breath and come back up between each side if you want. To make it a little more challenging, stay back here, past your tailbone. Sweep side to side. One more. Lift all the way up and then stretch out your legs nice and straight. Sit up nice and tall, lengthen the spine, get out of the habit of rounding forward. So if your hamstrings are tight, you need to bend your knees, that's okay. Take your arms out in front of you, stretching the spine. So we're gonna pull the belly in, tuck the chin, and we're gonna start to glide forward, reaching the hands out over the toes. I want you to feel your spine stretching first. So as you come forward, you'll also feel your hamstring stretch. Come all the way back and restack your spine. Relax the shoulders down. Exhale, pull the belly in. Inhale, come all the way back, restack your spine. Let's do that one more time. Exhale, scoop out the belly. Inhale, come all the way back. Now if you bring your feet together, fingertips behind your head, we'll take a little twist to each side. So give me a little double breath. Go on one side, inhale in the middle and On the other side. Keeping the hips level, the feet together. One more each side. And relax. Slide your hands back behind you, lean back, stretch your toes. And can you lift up to a reverse plank? Stretch open the front of your shoulders, your chest, look up, and then slowly release. If you bring the bottoms of your feet together like a little butterfly, you can take your thumbs and massage your feet. I don't care if your knees are up or down or wherever they are, just massage at the base of each toe and maybe up the center of your foot. You guys are awesome. Keep up the good work. We'll do some more later. Have a great day. Bye-bye now.